morning. Today is a day y'all are going to go, wow, it looks like it used to look. It looks like it used to look because sitting next to me is the guy who sat next to me for many, many moons. And he gave me a hard time about my Sherry Stay makeup. But guess what? Guess what I got on today?
Sherry Stay makeup.
Sherry Stay makeup. And Sherry Stay makeup works so good. And you just have no idea how many people have asked me about the makeup. Now, you don't have on your makeup today.
No, I decided not to wear it today.
And you didn't wear your hairpiece.
No.
No,
and I let that go.
Yeah, I've still got hair, but COVID did a number on my hair, but I could probably still take some from the back and give you. So
that's all right.
You know who you remind me of? Your sweet daddy.
Ah.
Your sweet daddy. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
He was the worm master. Wasn't he?
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, he liked raising worms.
He liked raising worms.
He liked to fish.
Did that come from raising a bunch of boys? Yes.
No comment.
No comment. Now, health-wise, everything good?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all had the flu, but everything's...
Well, I didn't. Some family members did, yeah. So, but it's going around. I know
everybody.
I talked to Miss Linda Autry on the phone yesterday evening. She's had it rough the last couple of weeks. So.
Well, I used to hug and I used to shake hands, and people like when you walk in the office where I work after I leave here, here's my desk, and I got about 10 feet. When they come in the door, I say, hey, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so glad you came. Normally I would shake your hand, but not right now, because the stomach virus, they said, is worse. Much
I hate
worse.
That.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then the flu. So if you see me out and I don't run, hug you, and grab your hand, there's a reason.
Flu, pneumonia.
RSV, is that what it's called?
Yeah, HGTV, all that stuff.
Yeah. And we had a little conversation earlier today. I'm excited. I wake up every morning smiling. I'm just smiling every day. And it's because I've got this president at the White House that works. He's not a slacker. He doesn't go to Delaware and sleep on the beach. He has a crew that works. They work.
Yeah, he's working.
Now, you get paid when you work, and I get paid when I work.
Yeah.
Elon's doing it for free. F-R-E-E. He is cleaning house. Now, there's a broom over there we could send to him, but I may need it to clean the studio up. I don't know.
You may need it to ride this October, too.
That's right. I'll have to drive that thing home.
It's an automatic.
This year was a turning point for your life, wasn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Semi-retired?
Yeah, after 27 years of owning my own business, I turned it over to our son, let him run it. And
that's right.
I don't have to pay the bills anymore, so that's good.
He's going to love it. Yeah, so you're going to be smiling big, too.
Yeah, I'm going to work with him some this summer and probably the next couple of summers and transition, kind of like, mama dog weans off the puppies.
Yes,
you want to wean him off a little bit. So.
Yeah, and y'all always get along good and you do everything.
Yeah.
It's been that way forever. It worked well for both of you. So when you retire, then he will have to bring somebody on. His kids aren't big enough yet. So what you going to do there?
He'll have a year or two transition period where his oldest will be big enough after that. But I think we understand his wife's going to join us this year and start helping. And
how cool. Well, Melissa used to help you.
Yeah. They can do it. They kind of like it. There's a lot of freedom in working for yourself.
Well, there's something about retirement. You and Melissa have done some travels and a lot of trips, and you had one planned up to the Ark, and then things changed.
I'm supposed to be there right now.
Yeah.
The weather changed. One of the family members.
We might have 2 mice running around, or 2 possum running around, or 2 of this or 2 of that, but we don't have an Ark.
No, one of the family members that was going with us wanted to postpone it because, I'm glad they did, because the weather's been awful up there. And they wanted to postpone it till about May, so I think we're going back up there in about May or so.
Kentucky has had 8 deaths, and one was a mom and a child. As they approached a bridge to cross it, the bridge gave way and they were swept away.
You just never know.
You never know. So we've got some weather coming in tomorrow. They said Pickens County's going to get some of it, but Cherokee's not supposed to. But we don't know because, Cherokee and Pickens are real close.
Yeah, we're kissing cousins down here, it seems like.
So we don't know. But tomorrow, I don't know how they're going to do it in the middle of ball season. Did they not know they need to keep this storm away? Because Pickens is in the coolest season in basketball. They have had an amazing, amazing year. And we're going to show some photos now. And we're also going to show a photo of a very, very special lady who left here on Valentine's Day, as appropriate as it should be. Miss Farrell Starnes went to be with Jesus on Valentine's Day. She was truly Ellijay's sweetheart. And so when Miss Farrell died, I got in my phone and I started looking. And I found 20-something people that have passed, and then 10 more that I couldn't delete because my psyche wouldn't let me yet.
It's funny you mention that, because I was doing the same thing 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's weird.
Going through my phone and finding people that had passed on, and some of them I just cannot get rid of their number.
Yeah, no. And Selena's one of them for both of us. And we talk about and we think, and I've asked Trace to pull up a song called Celebrate Me Home. The Perrys did it originally. Were they the original ones to do it?
You know, I think there was one before them. I can't remember.
Such a great, great song. But you and I were at Selena's funeral as she sang herself out of the funeral home. Now that was like getting punched in the gut with a big 2x4. It was tough.
I still got the last series of text messages I corresponded with her. She was in treatment. So
yeah, and
it's tough.
I have a picture that Rick took of she and I in their house, and it was before her looks changed and before she started losing her hair and everything. But in the end, she stood on stage. Robert York was having a concert, and Selena stood on stage with her little headpiece on with her mama, and they sang Holy Angels.
Yeah.
You know, how appropriate is that? And I don't remember the group they were singing with. Do you remember?
Inspirations.
Was it the Inspirations?
But that wasn't Robert York's. He was there, but I don't think he was promoting that.
Oh,
I think Shiloh Baptist Church was putting that one on. But yeah, he was there.
Well, when she stepped up there, you couldn't tell that her lungs were even affected.
Yeah, well, the Lord gives you power and strength when you need it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, they all, every one of those people on that page you've got listed there, you do miss them, but they would want you to keep going.
Absolutely.
And you got to keep living. So.
Absolutely. And we're going to share some photos. So can we start with the photos, guys? Because I think we started this. Your heart is in Ball Ground, your home should be too. I sell homes at Ball Ground, and I'd love for you to come and visit us. That is a gift to me from my sweet Bonnie Lacey friend. We've been friends for 40 years, and she lives over in Albertville, Alabama, and I've asked y'all to pray for her because her precious husband is battling dementia, and he is at the stage that it's very confusing, and he doesn't know who his wife is, who his sister is, who his children are. And it's very, very hard. And he was a Sunday school teacher, so it's very tough. And that is in memory of a very, very special lady, because when I looked at my phone, I had that number in there too. And I said, you know, that's one of those things. We look all around us, and there's so many people missing that we loved so very, very much. There's nothing we can do about it. We wouldn't bring them back.
No,
we wouldn't bring them back.
They wouldn't want to come back.
They wouldn't want to come back to this after where they've been. So, and that's what it's about. And when I look at this list of all the people that are missing from my life, I look at what they taught me, what I learned. That one of them taught me, Miss Doreen Lee taught me that you can start with something very simple and create something beautiful. And that was what I did for Valentine's Day for our homeowners over at Malone's Pond, and it was very good, and it was very simple.
Got breakfast?
Simple, southern, and scrumptious. No, that was their dessert. That was their dessert. But keep it simple. And there's some young ladies who have been with us on the program, and there they are at the Capitol with Rick Jaspers. We do love Rick Jaspers. He works for us. He doesn't work to pad his pockets like some people that seem to be crawling out of the woodwork. But he's not one of them. He's one of the good guys. So to Rick Jaspers, we thank you. We thank you for representing us, and we thank you for being the man you are. And there is me and Miss Evelyn, and we have got a video we're going to share with y'all. And everybody says, how did you do that? The magic of videography. And you'll see that.
You to come and join us at Malone's Pond.
But this...
because their heart is in Ball Ground, their home should be too. Yay! Thank you.
And it was people who'd been friends a long time, came together and spent the day in Ball Ground beginning at 3 p.m. And there's a nice couple who had been next door at Dots, and they used the little booth that Evelyn set up. So how cool. And that cake, really, it was so simple, y'all. And I actually put the ingredients on YouTube so you can go and check that out. It was so simple, so yummy, so good. And it was scrumptious.
Well,
it was scrumptious.
Why don't you open a kissing booth there? You can pay people to kiss you.
Yeah. Shut up. I'll smack you. There's what I got for Valentine's Day, except it's not mine. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Is that not the most beautiful thing you ever saw? You know, that's almost as cute as a newborn baby with curly hair, isn't it? So, yay.
Probably cheaper.
Yeah, probably so. And, everybody has to celebrate. We are celebrating this week the life, the legacy, and the beautiful heart of Miss Farrell Starnes. She was so good to so many people, and she will be missed by everybody in the Gilmer County community and farther than that. So now we are celebrating. The Dragonettes have got one heck of a team, and they won the championship over 65 teams. So that's pretty awesome. They're still going at it, and so the boys who do this program are out late at night with these ball players, and they are filming them as they keep going to championships, and that is really, really cool. So Dragonettes, congratulations, and to their young coach, congratulations. It was really, really cool, and I love that the bleachers are full. That is really so neat. And you talk about some good playing. I don't know what happens when the seniors leave. Somebody's got to take their place. So I hope that the ones coming up behind them are learning a little something. It's like me, I learned from you.
You did?
I learned I can't sing. I can play the radio, but I can't sing.
You get static when you play the radio?
I do. And there you go, Pickens Dragons, 64-59 guests. I love it. Don't you love when a good story happens and it's your local boys and girls?
Well, the last couple of those I've been to, it is a loud environment.
Is it?
You need some earplugs.
I love
Those
it.
young people are loud.
I love it. It's so exciting. And you know, that's what it's about. Support your school, support your community. Get in there and make some noise. And you said they're making some noise.
They're making noise.
They're making noise. That is so cool. And it is true. The stands are busy. So yeah, that's awesome.
A lot of proud parents, I'm sure.
A lot of proud parents. And somebody, I think they bought 75 tickets and donated for students who didn't have the money to buy a ticket to come. One of the people that you and I know well in Jasper did that, and I thought that's cool. Now this is my favorite. All these are my favorite shots of the week because my president showed up at my race, Daytona. Daytona was always the race that I wanted Dale Earnhardt to win. Sadly, he lost his life at the Daytona race. The atmosphere at the race on Sunday, they said, was more than electrifying. It was magnifying because it just was like a magnet and it drew so many people there. And most of the people who had tickets did not know that they were going to get the opportunity to see the president. And the Beast, as the Beast circled that oval track, and it was really, really, really cool. And these are some of the ladies who enjoyed downtown ball ground. They came and spent the day and had a good time. And if you haven't been out to your little city, whether it be Gilmer County, Fannin County, Pickens County, Cherokee County, get out and go support your local businesses. Local businesses mean a lot to the community, because that's probably a family you know who owns that business. So support them. Now, is that not the coolest thing? Is that not really cool?
Has there ever been a president circled the Daytona 500 before the race?
No. History. Once again, history. And his little granddaughter was in there with him. Now, this is what I said, and I laughed about this. I said there was only one intimidator, but now we have the determinator. Because our president is determined.
He's an intimidator too, if you ask me. I mean, he intimidates people.
And look at that. Who is that? Do you know who that man
that's
is?
Mr. Petty.
That's Richard Petty. And there's Richard Childress. That is like oh my gosh, I love that man. It was such an amazing, amazing day for race fans. It was an amazing day for Americans. And there's that simple cake. And again, the recipe is on YouTube, so you can go to it. Got a short video of it and it tells you how to do it, and it's so simple. And in honor and in memory of that precious, precious lady, today, do something nice for somebody else. Can you do that?
That's what Ludlow Porch used to say. Find somebody to be nice to.
That's right. And she did that every single day that she was here. She brought me a folder one time of all the baptizings that were had at her house in the lake in front of her home. And she was so proud of it. She said, I'm so thankful that we were able to volunteer our home for this to happen. And a lot of churches used her lake for baptizing, and she will be missed. She will be missed. A precious, precious lady. But she was, you know, she was 97. 97. Now look at that. Is that not cool? Is that not cool, y'all?
How fast did that car go around the track?
I don't know. I don't know, but I love it. I love it. I love it. What do they do with those when they don't need them anymore?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you love to own that? Wouldn't that be cool?
Thing's heavy.
You could get you a job being an Uber to executives. That
Couldn't
would be
afford the
really
fuel.
cool.
Couldn't afford the fuel in that thing.
And look at that. This is such an awesome sight. This is the flyover that they did twice before the president's plane landed. I love it. What an amazing day in American history. And those drivers were so honored, and some of the drivers brought their children out to meet the president because they knew it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. How many people get to do this?
Not all the drivers wanted to meet him, did they?
No, there was one that didn't, but we don't care about him. We don't care about that one. So, yeah, and I love that he took the time to go shake hands with everybody. So it was really, really cool. Now, we have a short video in a minute we're going to show y'all, and it was produced by a gentleman who is, he's just learning, and he learned fast, and he learned what equipment to buy, he learned how to do the work that he does, and we were so amazed. And Evelyn just sent me a message and said that she has another video from him that we're going to get to share. But we're going to share this little short clip, and it was done at Malone's Pond and in downtown Ball Ground. This weekend, there's going to be an event in this weekend or next weekend. I'll have to check the schedule. But there's always stuff happening in downtown Ball Ground. When's the last time you came to an event in Ball Ground?
I had to stop and use the restroom there a couple of days ago.
There you go. There you go.
That was an event.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about the event. There's a lady coming in from, I think she's from Wisconsin or somewhere way up there, Michigan, somewhere. She does bacon on a stick.
She'll have to have a passport.
Yes, she will. The last time she came, it was $5 for one piece of bacon on a stick.
Whew.
But I'm telling you, this bacon was so good. Now that the price of bacon, it's been 2 years since she was there. In 2 years, the price of bacon went way up, and we all know why. It's called Bidenomics. It has nothing to do with our president today. It's going to take a long time to clean house and get things priced differently. So I can't wait to walk up to her booth and say, I want one of those bacon on a sticks. And then I'll have to call Community Bank and say, Lori, can I borrow some money?
You take out a loan, right?
Can I borrow some money? So, but come down to Ball Ground, get to know this tiny town that we love, and there you go. Now, guys, we got that.
This new gated community in Ball Ground is just steps away from the pulse of the city.
And with just a few lots available, we would love for you to come and visit and choose your spot. We have a few lots available, and we have 10 beautiful floor plans to choose from with multiple elevations. We have a couple that are ready to move in, but we have plans that you can choose from. Personalize our house plan to your design.
Let's go to downtown Ball Ground.
Here we go. We made it. Evelyn, you truly can live, work, and play in downtown Ball Ground.
Let's take a look. Take a stroll through historical downtown, grab a bite at Dominant's, enjoy a beer at the brewery. The murals, the history, the local charm. Historical Ball Ground has something for everyone.
Visit Malone's Pond and experience Bircher Homes. Great homes, great life.
Now that is a young man who decided he wanted to be a videographer, and he is doing a really cool job. He's fun to work with, and he likes doing things differently. If you wonder how I jumped like that, oh my gosh.
I didn't know you were that athletic.
Took about 3 takes, yeah, and my knee
It's either that or you
kept
fell off the
popping.
broom.
Yeah, my knee kept popping, so it was fun. It was fun. Today, we're going to share some music by you.
Really?
Yeah, but I want to go over, and then I want to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot. When I was cleaning out my phone, a lot of these people weren't in my phone, but it just made me look and think. And I started with people who mattered to me. Miss Farrell Thomas Starnes, who left this earth last week, is the reason I started this. And then I thought about my mama, Hazel Dobbs, and then my grandmother, Eugenia Dobbs, who was grew up with nothing. You know, like your parents grew up in the Mill Village over in Cartersville, and so did Joyce Bryson and Papa Jack.
Yeah.
There was a time that there was little money in many of the homes that we're going to talk about today. My grandmother, Laura Gilreath, lived on $105 a month. She paid the rent, and then she had $5 a week for groceries. Now think about that. $5 a week for groceries, that's all she had. And then I think about Miss Olga Burgess, who lived out in Albertville, Alabama. Every time I went to see her, she had the most amazing cookies in a cookie tin ready for me to take home with me. I never thought about what it cost her to produce those cookies, because today, butter, sugar, eggs, flour, it's all so expensive. The price of things that happen to us change the way we can even do gift giving, because cooking used to be a gift.
Well, that cookie tin you just spoke of is probably worth more than the whole month's salary she used to have.
That's right.
So.
That's right. It's crazy, y'all. Things have changed so much. And then I look at my sister Lila Dobbs Pageant. I got a card from my brother, and you know, when a sibling leaves, then it leaves a void, and there is a void. I can't pick up the phone and call my sister, and she was that calming force. She would go to Gabriel's and eat, and then send a picture for me to see her enjoying my favorite meal. But then she would surprise me and come to Georgia and bring me Gabriel's subs. There's nobody to do that anymore. And then I look back at Doreen Lee, who would have just celebrated, I think, her 102 birthday. It seems like yesterday that she walked into the Woodbridge Inn and got a job as a cook. And our first conversation was, she said, "Where's the peanut oil?" And I said, "What for?" And she said, "To season the soup beans." I said, No. We're in the country. I said, "We use country ham." I said, "We cut the sides off the country ham and put beans." And she said, "Well, that's not healthy." And I said, "We're not here to make them healthy. We're here to make them happy."
Make your tongue happy.
So I taught her to season beans, but she taught me so much about presentation with food. She also taught me so much about being good to people, because Doreen Lee was so good. I worked for her when Dawn was born, and I had to walk to work, take my baby with me. I didn't have a babysitter yet because she was only 3 weeks old. Took her, and she sat in the back of the Yellowbird restaurant. Were you there when the Yellowbird was there?
Where was that at?
Where Walgreens is now?
No.
Okay. It was the Greystone Village, and
I
a lot
remember
of people.
Greystone Village.
Okay, well, where the Greystone was, she had a little building in front of it called the Yellowbird. Every time I go through the Dairy Queen in Jasper and say, "I want a hamburger with mustard, ketchup, and slaw," it takes me back to Doreen Lee, who made my first hamburger with mustard, ketchup, and slaw. Now, nobody's slaw is as good as hers. Nobody. Do I have the recipe? No.
Uh-oh.
When you get to heaven, if you get there first, send me the recipe. Tell Doreen you really need that recipe.
Is it going to be slaw in heaven, you think?
I hope so. Gosh, I hope so. And then I think about a kid from Atlanta went to Shake Rag, Georgia, and Winnell Blackwell turned on Singing Jubilee as loud as she could on that old black and white TV. And I jumped out of the bed and said, "What in the world is that?" And she said, "Well, the biscuits are ready and it's time to get up. There's chores to be done." And I thought, what? But that was where my love for gospel music came.
Good. That was a good show.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it was 60 years ago.
Yeah, every bit of 60 years.
It was 60 years ago that I started watching that. So when we think about the people who, I love gospel music because of somebody, I didn't know I was going to go to the country and find out about gospel music. I knew I was going to go to the country and help can peaches and help shuck corn and do those kind of things. But my love for gospel music, and your love for gospel music was probably from church. Is that where it started?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because your mom's family all sang.
Right. Played instruments and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a good dose of it.
You got a good dose. How many of those family members are here? One.
Just one.
Who is that?
Ann
Wow.
Garland. Ann Garland, Cartersville.
Wow.
Yeah.
One out of, was there 12?
12 of them.
12
Yep.
of them. Okay.
All, including my mother, have gone on to be with the Lord.
Isn't that crazy? Now, out of those, how many had dementia?
Well, dementia, Alzheimer's, probably about 6 of them.
Okay. And the others, what health?
Heart attack, just different cancer, yeah, stuff like that. The normal things.
Yeah, the normal things. Yeah, isn't that terrible that we live in a world that cancer is normal?
It's normal, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And today there's a kid somewhere, there's an Elon Musk somewhere who could solve cancer. He's doing so much for so many.
They already have cures for it. They just there's too much money involved
money.
in
It's all about
medicine,
follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Yeah, everything you can revolve back to money just about.
That's right. Well, we look at somebody that you and I both know and love, Joyce Bryson. It was so crazy that we ended up working together and y'all ended up living in the same community as kids.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Well, my parents did.
Yeah, what a small world. What a small world. And Bernice Cash, and y'all, I gotta tell this story. Bernice Cash had supper on the table at 4:15. When her husband got off work, he worked as a maintenance man. At 4 o'clock, he got off work. He walked to the door at 4:15.
And that was AM, not PM.
Yeah, yeah, that was PM. But she would have supper ready for him. As soon as he ate, she would clean up the dishes. She'd sit back down. Well, she needed to make a little extra money, and I needed somebody to help clean my house because I was gone all the time. And so I hired her to clean my house every other week. Well, I walked in one day, and my husband was standing in the kitchen, and he said, "This can't happen again." And I thought, oh, God, what have I done now? And he said, "We do not allow smoking in this house." And I thought, who's smoking? And he said, "I walked in the door, and guess who was sitting in the den smoking?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me because we did not smoke." He said, "The maid." And I said, oh, my God. I said, "Now, listen, Bubba. She cleans our toilet. If she wants to have a cigarette, I'm not going to tell her she can't." Well, the next week, I just redone the bedroom. I flip-flopped our rooms around, and I made the formal living room our bedroom. And I walked in, and she had taken a 16-penny nail. This is what country folks used to do. They didn't have closets. They put a 16-penny nail on the wall, and they hung their clothes on that nail.
Yeah.
In my new bedroom that I just finished, and it was so pretty. She took a 16-penny nail and hung some stuff on there. She said the closet was full and I didn't know what else to do with it. Well, I about passed out.
It's called ingenuity.
Ingenuity. It's called raised in poverty, didn't have a closet. It's how she knew to do things.
You use what you have.
You use what you have. Never did I say a word to her about smoking. And honestly, you know, y'all, I can't deal with smoking. But it was so funny because she did things the old-timey way.
Would you like a cigarette?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't have any.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But when we look back, there's so many people in our lives that have taught us, and we learned from them, or we learned maybe sharing ideas. I think about the first garden I had. I'd seen my Aunt Tempy with a garden. I'd seen Aunt Bessie with a garden. I'd seen Aunt Annie and Aunt Leila with a garden, but I'd never planted a garden. Have you ever planted a garden?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, when my
It's a lot of work.
mother-in-law said, "You need to go pick up some guiana," I said, "Okay." And I thought, what the crap is that? I had no idea. It's fertilizer.
Well, you just said it. What the crap is that? Yeah. You told it before you said it. So.
There you go. But it was crazy. I didn't want her to know that I didn't know how to garden, so I didn't ask, "What is it?" I just walked into the feed place and got it.
Speaking of crap,
Here we go.
no, all the years that I've done lawn care, and I've done a lot of old farm places, the one fertilizer, natural fertilizer, that makes grass grow for 100 years or more and never stops is hog manure.
Really?
If you ever go to an old place that used to be a hog farm, the grass will be totally green and
Wow.
very, very healthy.
Do people today use hog
Absolutely.
manure? They do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But chicken manure is the most popular.
Where do
'cause
they
it's
get hog manure?
from hogs.
Duh.
Where else would you get it?
I don't know.
No, but it's
Where
more
do you buy it?
from a hog farmer.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it grows grass like nobody's business.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because they did their business.
It's better than chicken manure, and to me, I mean, from what I've seen, it's better than any of those. And I did one for a guy who said that was his great-grandpa's hog farm, and they hadn't had pigs there for decades.
Wow.
But the grass was just so green and healthy, you couldn't even cut it fast enough.
That is cool.
It was like, wow.
That is cool. So in your next life, you could have in retirement, you could have hog manure delivery.
Well, I only have one life, so I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah.
Okay, here's somebody who really, and you knew this lady, Jen Berger.
Yep.
You know, the first day I met her was in Costco, and I was coming out of Costco, she was going in, and she said, "You're Sherry Martin," and I said, "I reckon I am." And she said, "We have a mutual friend," and it was Lori Tipton. And I said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you." And it started, and then we were friends for many years. She went to be with Jesus, but not before her husband lost a battle with cancer. 4 weeks. He only knew for 4 weeks. If you had cancer, would you want it to be fast?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's incurable, I'd rather it go the next day, but you don't want to see people suffer.
4 weeks, 4 weeks. And they met because of the community meal that we did up in McKaysville. You were very involved in that, and y'all came and volunteered and sang and did and helped. That's what you do.
I met his brother. His name was Ham.
Yeah, Burger.
Hamburger.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. And then the lady who changed my life completely, Hazel Mosley, she taught me that not only could I do anything I wanted to do, I could do it well. And she would say, "You just this and this and this." And she gave me so much really good advice. When I met her, there was she had this funny looking, wasn't a very pretty ashtray sitting on her desk because people used to smoke at work. And Miss Hazel, I can just see her taking a cigarette out of her mouth and putting it in that ashtray. And I thought, that's the ugliest ashtray I ever saw. So I went to the Crystal Shop in Marietta, Georgia, and I had her a crystal ashtray made with her monogram in it. And it was Hazel Holcomb Mosley. And it was HHM. And until the day she died, she had that ashtray. She didn't smoke anymore. She quit smoking. But we were sitting at dinner one Sunday night, and she said, "I just don't feel good. I just don't feel good." The next day, she went to the doctor, and 4 months to the day, we walked behind her casket out of First Baptist Church. Pancreatic cancer.
She was one of my customers, and days before she died, I was talking with her, and she seemed like she just, getting better. But that's usually what happens. But yeah, just a few days later, she was gone.
She was gone. She was gone. And what a powerful woman. There are streets in Jasper named after her, but there are people's lives who changed because of her. She ran the housing authority in Jasper, and she not only, would help get you housing, but she would give you advice, and she would tell you, get an education, do this, do this. She gave advice. She was a motherly type person, and I appreciated that, and I loved her.
She got things done.
She got things done,
She did.
And did not take no for an answer. She taught me that. She taught me that.
Well, the one word that came to my mind when I met her and got to know her was determination.
Yes.
She was very determined.
She was, and she became a city councilwoman in Jasper and did a great job of that. She was mayor pro tem, and never did we know that Sunday night that we were having dinner. So if you're thinking about somebody but you haven't picked up the phone and called them, if you've thought, maybe I'll send them a note, don't wait.
No.
Don't wait.
You may not ever get that opportunity again.
No, you may not get that opportunity. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, you're going to get to hear him sing, but it's recorded. It's one of your CDs.
Uh-oh.
Because we feature your music. Do you know why?
You're trying to scare people off, I guess.
No, people love local gospel music, and I'll just say, we have to step up and hit the pace a little bit harder because WLJA's not playing this stuff anymore. So we've got to feature this local gospel music, and so we're going to feature you, and I don't know what he's chosen.
I hope it's one of the good ones. I got some bad ones on there.
No, you don't. Here we go. We'll be right back.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Hello, Mama. I just called to tell you all those prayers that you prayed for me, they were not in vain. Something happened tonight while traveling down this dusty road, and I thought that you should be the first to know that I am not the same. Now all those dreary days are over now, those sleepless nights are past, and all those prayers that you have prayed so long, they're answered now at last. For I'm not the boy that I used to be. Mama, you can sleep tonight, for I found Jesus. Now everything's alright. And I remember every night before I'd go to sleep, I'd hear you ask the Lord my soul to keep, that I might find the way. And I'm so thankful that through all my loneliness and all those wasted years, Mama, your prayers, they kept on ringing in my ear every night and day. Now all those dreary days are over now, those prayed so long, they're answered now at last. For I'm not the boy that I used to be, Mama. You can sleep tonight, for I found Jesus. Now everything's alright. No, I'm not the boy that I used to be, Mama. You can sleep tonight, for I found Jesus. Now everything's alright. Oh, it's alright.
It's alright. What'd you think of that song?
I love that one. That's a Squire Parsons composition, and every time I sing that in a church, I get a good response from people because it touches their heart. I had the privilege of recording that one with my mother. That was her singing the background vocals. She was already elderly and had lost a lot of her vocal abilities, but I had to have it. I just had to get that down before she passed on. So
There you go.
it was
There you
wonderful.
go. And what a memory. What a memory, and I guarantee you there's somebody out there that song really, really touched.
Yep.
You know, when we look at this list of people, and this is crazy that I could get this many this fast, but Pauline Osborne and Joyce Bryson both together, they brought me cases of canned food that they canned at the Fannin County Cannery. And it was collard greens, applesauce, apple juice, tomatoes, just different things. And every time I would open that can, I would feel like there was a little love coming out of that can, you know?
Sure, yeah.
Because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And you don't have to do something extravagant for somebody to be a good neighbor, to be a good friend. They brought me canned stuff that they produced themselves, and Miss Pauline's brother produced the biggest, most beautiful gardens in the world. And I know a lot of our old viewers will remember me and Jen going out there digging potatoes. I'd never done that before.
I can't see you digging potatoes.
It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. But
I
it
wish I had
was
a
so
picture
much
of that.
fun. We have pictures of it. We do. But it was so much fun. And Mr. Davenport was such a nice guy. And every time I'd go to visit, he would give me stuff out of the garden. We are losing the generation of people who garden.
Well, there's not as much land to do it with anymore. People have built houses and developments on land. And so, yeah, it's disappearing. And a lot of people just don't want to work. Let's just be honest.
Boy, let's be honest. A lot of people don't want to work.
Imagine Sherry out there hoeing potatoes and the makeup running down her face. Can you imagine? Never mind.
Yeah.
She's sweating.
Okay, let's talk about another really hard worker that you knew and you loved, Juanita Wilkie.
Yeah, she was a hard worker, her and Tom both. And I remember the first time I met her, they used to cash checks for me down at the Blue Star. And she wasn't quite sure about who I was, and I was a foreigner from Cartersville, you know.
That's right, that's right.
It didn't take long that we warmed up to each other, and she was a sweet person.
She was. And when I think about gardening, I have to go back to my Aunt Tempe Boyles, who lived over in the Ducktown community of Forsyth County. She said, "We're going to pick butter beans." And I said, "Oh, that'll be fun." Wrong. Wrong. Okay, I had a 66 Chevelle then, and my grandmother was with me. And Granny said, "Well, they're cleaning out the chicken houses, and I can take some of this home with me, and I can put it in my flower beds." And I said, "Okay." So we bag up all this chicken litter, and we put it in the back of my 66 Chevelle. Well, I get Granny home that night, and it's dark and late. I don't unload that. I said, "I'll come by in the morning and unload your stuff." Guess what was all over the trunk of my Chevelle? Little black bugs. Little black bugs that had been in that fertilizer. And my car, probably for 6 weeks, I sprayed it. I don't know.
When they start dying and it's the summertime, it don't smell too good.
No, it don't smell too good. So a lesson learned, chicken litter is good for you, but I never knew about hog litter. Now, can you use hog litter in a garden
Sure.
or just in grass?
Yeah.
Okay, in a garden. So
great.
there's your agriculture lesson of the day.
Make your corn taste like pork chops.
That's right. Okay, if you love flowers, dahlias are one of my favorite. Dahlias were always one of my favorite. My Aunt Bessie Whitzel had the most beautiful flower garden, and several of her daughters had that touch, have that green thumb.
Green thumb.
Do you have a green thumb?
No, mine's kind of white looking. But,
It is.
I do have a black one on. I smashed my finger with a hammer the other day.
Oh
doing
my
a job,
gosh!
so
Wow.
anyway.
Then I think about Leela Gilreath. Now I can make a good pound cake, but her daughter Marcel Ledbetter, award-winning pound cake.
Is that who Jerry Clower used to talk about?
Yeah, that's who you used to talk about. Yeah, but Marcel, anytime anything happened, she showed up with a pound cake. Well, I tried to duplicate it. Never have I made one as good as Marcel's.
Yeah, sometimes it's just all in the hands.
It had to be. It had to be. And then I think about my Aunt Annie Kirby. Out of all my aunts, my great aunts, only 2 drove. And Aunt Annie drove, and it was crazy because Aunt Edith drove as a rebellious thing. Aunt Edith was the rebellious one.
There's always one in the bunch.
Yeah, but Aunt Leela and Uncle Guy got a divorce after 40 years because she wanted to go to work. And he said, well, ain't no wife of mine leaving the house and going to work. She fooled him. She not only went to work, she bought herself a 55 Ford and learned how to drive. Things have changed so much.
Young ladies today wouldn't understand that.
They would not
that
understand it.
period.
No, they
Yeah.
would not understand it. They raised chickens at their home on Kelly Bridge Road, and that was their job, and that's how they paid for their farm, and that was how they made a living.
Well, their eggs were cheaper than they are
Yeah,
today.
they were. Yeah, they were. But Sweetor was hiring over in Dawsonville, and she said, I'm going to get me a job. And Uncle Guy said, oh, no, you're not. Oh, yes, you did. They got a divorce, but it's so cool. They still lived right there together, and they were divorced, and it was funny. And we watched it, and I said, okay, he proved his point, and she proved her point, and it didn't get them anywhere.
She put her foot down, didn't
She put her foot down. Yeah, it didn't work. Now, one lady who taught me so much about love for everybody in the community, Dorothy Wade, she's the one who told me to go get the UANR, and I did not know what she was talking about. But she loved taking care of my kids, and I will forever be thankful for her for doing that, because I was working 2 jobs. We had an auction on Thursday night. Every other Thursday night we had an antique auction, and she kept the kids all night because we didn't finish till late. People who took care of your children are special people in your life, because it takes a lot to love them. You know, sometimes they go through those terrible twos, but she was always so kind and so patient to my kids. And then I think about the lady who really molded me, Miss Maisel Kemp, a teacher. Do you have a teacher that you loved?
I had several, yeah.
And they make such an impression. Now today, I don't know, you know, Ms. Kemp taught us so many things, from how to set a table to how to introduce yourself when you meet somebody to, she wasn't just a home ec teacher, she was a whole roundabout teacher. She taught us so much stuff.
Personality teacher.
Personality, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wish that she were, gosh, she would have been 120 now, so she won't ever get to see this. But I wish that I had kept in touch with her more. I wish I'd told her thank you more. You know, there are people that we forget to thank. There are people we forget to thank.
We all have regrets.
And then there's a lady who showed up on the set. We were at Charlene and Charles's house filming A Heart of the Home, and Loretta Brackett walked in with a hot chocolate cake that she made that was famous for the gooey in the middle of it. And as bad as sugar made my cheeks turn red and made my sugar spike,
You had to have it, didn't you?
I had to have it. I had to have it. That was a sin. That was a sin. But Lord, I've made the cake, and I know her daughter makes the cake. Several other people made the cake. Nobody made the cake like Loretta did.
Well, I ain't met anybody yet that didn't say sin wasn't fun. But, you know,
That's
I have to
right.
get past it sometime.
That's right. Now let's think about somebody that we really, really loved. We loved Selena Hales.
Yeah, special person.
A very special person.
Still miss her.
And the day that she was at Charlene's, it was the day we had that cake there, they were singing. And they were standing in front of a big angel arrangement that Charlene had. And my producer took off his headset and he said, what's the name of that group? And I said, girls, what's the name of your group? And they said, we don't have a name, we just sing in church. And I looked behind him and I said, well, it looks to me like there's an angel spirit about us. And that's how Angel Spirit came to be.
You named them and you named ours too. So.
That's right. That's right. And you know, we are going to be sharing a lot of music with y'all in the near future because we know you're missing what WLJA was doing. And so we're going to start downloading Bill's music and the Glory Bound group, and we're just going to keep offering you days that we do a lot of music because you're going to miss that music. And we can't do anything about it because the radio station's sold and they have their idea of what they want to do, and we have our idea of what y'all love.
I haven't told you this, I don't think, but I want to publicly thank, while we're on the air here, thank Bob Reese. He invited me to come audition for Glory Bound a few weeks ago. And
wow.
The timing just wasn't right for in my life right now, but I appreciate him doing that.
That's cool. That's cool. And if you know and love Bob Reese, you know that his heart is, his heart's tired. His heart is tired and he isn't able to sing now. And he misses that so much because singing was truly a ministry for Glory Bound. Glory Bound isn't there about all the CD sales or anything else. They're there about giving back and giving back. And they do support a orphanage down in Peru. He gave back and gave back and gave back. But one of the things we know and love him for the most was the Christmas Sing, where Linda Autry plays the piano. And they always had great groups, and they raised so much money for children who would not have had Christmas in Cherokee County.
Yeah, good causes there.
Yeah, and that's what he's about. That's what it's about. So a lot of these gospel singers, you don't know what they do behind the scenes, but we try to promote them and let you know that they are not just out there singing to sell CDs. They're singing with a mission often.
Yeah, and if you're really in it for the right reason, that's what you should be doing.
Sure, sure. Well, right now we're going to share just a couple of minutes of something that has just now been loaded to YouTube, and it is something that we did at Georgia Mountain Fair. And the Georgia Mountain Fair is going to open up big time, big time. And do you know that you have? We don't have it. You're gonna have to go to YouTube to watch it. Okay, technical difficulty. You're gonna have to go to YouTube. But it is the Georgia Mountain Fair. Do you know how many people have stepped on that stage at the Georgia Mountain Fair?
Thousands.
How many groups have you gotten to see that you saw as a boy?
A bunch, yeah. I hope to see some more this year too. Yeah,
that's right.
They have some good
now,
stuff.
Who is it you want to see? The Happy Together?
The Happy Together tour. That's a great show. And Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Oh, I love Little Anthony and the Imperials. Yeah.
And ZZ Top. I'm a rock and roll guy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I cannot see you with ZZ Top.
Well,
that is crazy.
I love electric guitar. I like anybody can play it really well, and Billy Gibbons can really play it. So
yeah. So you want tickets to that?
Yep.
He'll have to be good to me and quit hushing about my makeup, and I'll get you some tickets.
What am I supposed to do?
You can't hush about my makeup.
Hey, you know, you don't need to be going to any more antique stores, though.
I know it, because they'll keep me. They'll keep me. We're going to end today with a song that we both love, and it is about celebrating home. One of our friends, Selena Hales, did this song. She recorded it with Angel Spirit, and it did celebrate her home. This week, as Gilmer County celebrates Miss Farrell Starnes' home, we're going to be celebrating a lot of people. Every single day when you read the obituaries, you think about somebody, something special, something they were involved in, something they did for you. There's so many people that are leaving us today. And do you know what was the one thing I will say about the obituaries not being played at WLJA, now I don't hear all those names of people younger than me dying, so maybe that's a good thing.
You just have to go on their websites and look them up now.
That's right. I would be riding down the road. Well, does Roper do that?
Yeah.
Roper has, okay.
Yeah.
So
go on
Roper
the website, all the funeral homes have that now, where you can just go on their website and see all the recent obituaries.
Okay, explain to me how little old granny sitting at home here in Gilmer County that doesn't have a computer finds out about the obits.
Well, you get on the phone and call them.
You call them, because they've got a number. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a number. You just dial up and you can listen. So don't sit at home and say, well, I didn't know they passed, because you can do that. But we're going to leave you today. I think this is the Perrys. And do you remember when Trace Perry died? Mm-hmm. And they did this song for him as they celebrated him home, as she had stood on stage for years and years and years and sung this song. Then to imagine.
Well, his last name wasn't Perry, but he was with him. So.
Yeah, he was with him. And he had a stroke, right?
Tracy Stuffle.
Yeah. Had a stroke, and young.
Yeah, he lasted for a while after that, but it just took him eventually. Yeah, bass singer for the Perrys.
And young, way young. celebrate today, celebrate every moment. Pick up the phone today and call somebody that you love. And just like Bill's mama, get your recorder out and record their voices.
Right.
Record their voices and save that, because one day they won't be able to speak. I have a dear friend who can't speak anymore, and he can only whisper. And I miss hearing from him. He texted me last week, and I love that. But to hear their voice again. So here we go with Celebrate Me Home.
This next song coming up reminds us of a great story, a true story that happened to us on the road. A lady had driven 7.5 hours after her grandson had just gotten his driver's license and was on his way to show his license to his grandparents, and was tragically killed in an automobile accident before he reached their home. The next morning, the grandmother got up and was scanning through the radio station in total shock. What had happened the evening before, came across this song. Called the radio station and found out who it was. Had no idea really about gospel music nor at all about the Perrys. And got on the website, found our schedule, and the closest town that we were going to be was about a 7.5 hour drive for her, for any of the length of time in our schedule. And she showed up and shared that story with us, and the lady stood there in tears over the loss of a grandson just 2 weeks prior to us being in this town. The song ministered to her in a great, great, great way, and that's our prayer of any of our songs, with this song specifically.
When the time comes and I'm standing at the river that separates the two worlds that I love, torn between my precious friends and my family, and the place of peace